Don't even think of contacting me for hookups. And my kids come first. They are the love of my life. This is what was said on the dating profile of these nothing less than psychotic at worst and delusional at best women. These women are not even trying to hide that their entire purpose in life is to please themselves. They are under this illusion that what the man in her life wants is of no significance, and it's all about her and her children. These are single mothers who are on these dating sites and around, maybe not on dating sites, walking around, sitting next to you in a movie theater or whatever, restaurant, and they have this grandiose illusion of themselves, and because they've won in the court, because they've managed to fleece their ex-husband, and because their ex-husband was most likely a pushover guy that was a yes dear type that did whatever they say, they think the whole world is going to continue being like that. So you see these women, on one hand, they want that validity. They want that fulfillment of the attention that they get from man. So they pictures that in any culture, by any standard, can only be described as sexually very suggestive. And then they say, don't even think of contacting me for a hookup, or if you are just after sex, keep looking. And my kids come first, as though that really sounds sexy. So this is the classic case of one hand and pushing you back with the other. They do want and enjoy that validity, that feeling of validity that they get by posing these pictures, and the fulfillment they get by knowing that, hey, I've still got it and people still want me. Whereas in reality, it's any horny man who's looking at these pictures and just wants to get off will write to them. It doesn't have any meaning. If they're smart, they would not let that go to their head, because the interest of most men is just a temporary release of tension, rather than wanting to spend the rest of their life with them. But women don't look at it that way. Women don't choose to see the reality, because the lie and the fantasy is so much nicer. So on one hand, they enjoy the fantasy of being wanted, and that sense of validity that they get out of these that they pose online, which, by the way, usually shows their best angle. And then on the other hand, they want to let you know that their kids come first. Oh, how desirable. How lovely to know that her kids come first. And that it's really all about them. I mean, all you have to do, ladies and gentlemen, mostly in this case gentlemen, all you have to do is read between the lines. In this case, you don't even have to read between the lines. They're coming out right and telling you. Believe them when they say my kids come first, because that is the truth. If you're dating single mothers on some fantasy that she's going to be the same sexual fiend and the same sweet, satisfying, agreeable woman that she is during the dating period while she's trying to, hook you, you are dreaming. You're fooling yourself. As I've said many times before, the sample will not even come close to the actual product that you'll be getting. This is a classic case of bait and switch in the worst kind. So be careful with these women. I honestly shake my head when I see these, and I don't know what to say. I really don't know what to say about this. They have forgot the part where the fastest way of getting something in life is giving others what they want. Sure, I understand your kids are important to you and they come first, as and that's normal for any mother. But what about? Is there anything in your list of things that you're willing to do from the time you wake up until you sleep? Is there anything there for him what about what he wants. And these are the same selfish women are now alone because of a very good reason, because it became all about them. They presented a image and first during the courting stage and everything, and once they were married, or the moment they're coming back from the church, the makeup started to disappear slowly. The sex started to get less and less and less. She stopped taking care of her appearance and attending to herself. She started gaining weight. She started wearing loose, baggy clothes, and she started stopped caring about what she says or what she does, or how she presents herself. All of that went out the window because the what do you call it? There's an old Persian saying that when the horse has crossed the bridge is no longer needed. And I think you can figure out what that means. That means you have basically she's no longer on the hook. She's no longer on the hook to she can now be her undesirable self. And of course, I'm not talking about 100% of the women, because thank God there are some that realize that there is give and take in life. There are absolutely some that realize in order to get what they want, they have to actually give something in return. Like anything else in life for all of us, man, woman, or everything and everything in between. Life is give and take. If you want to make an omelet, you got to break some eggs. But these women have forgotten this art. And I tell you again and again and again that this is not universal. Although there are some female characteristics that are all encompassing, and it's the same no matter where you go. But I have to say that with all the factors taken into consideration, the women in the Western United States, Canada, Western Europe are the worst. They have become the worst, really, because of the laws. Because of the laws and because of the economics. And don't think that this hurts only us men. It actually hurts them too. Most of these women will end up alone. Most of these women will die alone. Will sit home with their alone and miserable in their big house. In their big house. I swear to you, I can name so many women that are friends of my ex, friends of my sister, exes, and that I know that are alone and miserable, but financially pretty set. They're not. Some of them are wealthy, some of them are okay, and some of them are, just average, above okay, whatever, everything in between. But they are miserable. They are lonely because they have forgotten that because they don't need the man, maybe economically, they literally are not dependent on the man to provide them with their next meal. It doesn't mean that they can completely write him off and everything he needs, and that he should be happy and honored to spend time with her. They have completely forgotten that, and this is their attitude. It is an honor for you to be in my presence. If I give you sex once a month or twice a month, it is a chore. It is a favor that I'm doing for you. I have met women. Majority of these women rapidly lose sex drive and interest in sex, and I have talked to women that have admitted to me that they have zero sex drive, and if you're a man on the listening side, on the receiving side of that comment, then you ask yourself, well, then what is there? Because you're not particularly young, you're not particularly 118 pounds, you're not a supermodel in terms of looks, and now you're telling me that you have zero sex drive. So and you can't cook, and you can't do anything else except just lay there and with a glass of wine and talk to your girlfriend on the phone for 2 hours and get on social media. What do you have to offer a man? What do you have to offer him? And I'm fair in this thing. A man also has to have something to offer the woman. But in this case, we are talking about these psychotic women that are on these dating sites showing these super pictures and ordering a man not to even think about sex. Yes, tilt the bottle and don't saying. They're looking for something that does not exist. And this sums it all up, gentlemen. These single mothers, these delusional women, are looking for something that does not exist, and this is why they will die alone. They will die alone, they will die miserable. It takes more for a woman to be happy than to just have a home and a It takes a man that puts her arm around her, does not like to go through life alone. Whether she's a billionaire or she's not like to go through life alone. And with this attitude that the women of the West have picked up, and with this mean-spirited reliance that they have on the laws that destroys a man whenever they decide to leave, they're guaranteeing themselves a life of loneliness and misery. All the best to the next video. Take care. Remember, you are the prize. Make yourself be the prize, and then remember, you are the prize. All the best.